Welcome back to the Hoot and Holler podcast. Today I have a very special guest, and she's a close friend of mine, and she is an extraordinary chef. She is a Pico Park prodigy.
Oh, God.
And she's like a super talented artist. So please welcome Natalie.
Yay, hello.
Welcome to your first time on the Hoot and Holler podcast. How does it feel?
Well, I'm honored to be on the pod finally, and I'm a little nervous. I'm not spent a lot of time in front of a camera, but I'm excited too.
Yeah, there's a first time for everything.
True.
And you know what? You're a natural so far.
Yay.
You're killing it. Our topic today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into art. But before that, there is something I wanted to ask you. Mm-hmm. Actually, there's 5 things I want to ask you. This is
Hoot and Holler Rapid Fire.
Okay, so the way this works is I'm going to give you a prompt, and you have to respond if this is a hoot or a holler. If it's a hoot, it's a good thing. If it's a holler, it's a bad thing. And these are all themed to art.
Awesome.
Okay. The first one is the Mona Lisa.
I'd say it's a hoot. Yeah, I mean, she's fine. She's an icon, but I'm not like a huge fan. You know?
Oh, wow. Okay, it's a tepid hoot.
Yeah, it's a tepid hoot.
Okay, interesting. I'm all in on the Mona Lisa.
Oh, you're
I want to know what's the story. Why is she smiling?
She is quite mysterious.
But okay, that's fair. That's fair. The next one is Prismacolor colored pencils.
I'll say it's a hoot. I actually don't use colored pencils a lot, but I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say on them.
Okay.
So I'd say
again, another like middle of the road.
Sorry,
a
I'm
middle
very
of the road
tepid.
hoot. No, that's fair. I mean, you don't have to be passionate about these things.
Okay, cool.
But then what is your medium of choice?
I do a lot of digital work, so
Okay.
I would say I use like an iPad a lot. Sometimes I use like a drawing tablet for the computer. But for physical media, I would say I used to really like charcoal. And
No way.
yeah, and these days when I'm just like doing stuff casually, I'll use like a pen, like ink.
Wait, that's fun.
Yeah.
I feel like charcoal's rare.
Oh, really?
Or, I mean, I just don't see... the artists I know are just people on like YouTube, but I don't see anyone on
Right.
YouTube doing like charcoal artwork.
Yeah, I think it's just like popular in like for art school because it's
Okay.
like you can erase it and you can get a lot darker than like a lot of graphite.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty versatile and like it comes in a lot of different forms too. So it's like for like drawing classes in art school, it's like a pretty popular choice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hoot or Holler, that banana that was duct taped to the wall and sold as art for $6.2 million.
I would say actually that's a big hoot for me. I think
I agree.
that's so funny.
I love modern art.
Yeah.
I think it's so fun.
Yeah, I love how like it makes people so mad where they're like, that's not art. And I'm
Yeah.
like, your reaction makes it art to me.
Exactly, because art is meant to like elicit emotion.
Yeah.
And people are reacting.
Yeah.
So I find it art for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is Hoot or Holler, the color chartreuse.
Oh, it's a hoot for me. I do like chartreuse. Yeah.
I've had like a roller coaster experience with chartreuse.
Oh, really?
At first, I didn't like it because I was confused because I thought it should be like red or pink. But then it was
Yeah.
like bright green. But then I liked it because I think the deception is part of its charm. And I was really into that.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like Charlie XCX kind of appropriated it. And now I don't know how I feel.
you have mixed feelings on Brat.
I have
see,
mixed
I see.
feelings about Brat. Yeah.
Interesting. That's so interesting.
We'll see. I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years, everything will change again. I tend to go on a cycle with these things.
You have a love-hate relationship with chartreuse.
Yeah. But I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of a controversial color.
I feel like green is usually so like peaceful.
You think chartreuse is peaceful though?
Oh, I think like
It kind of screams at you.
I think you're onto something with like the Brat. It's like right now, I guess it's like culturally that's what it is.
It's very of the now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the final one.
Okay.
This is going to be controversial.
Oh, God.
Hoot or Holler, this statement. Traditional art is more fulfilling than digital art.
Well, I'd say that's a holler because I mean, I think like everyone has something that works for them, like in art. And I think for me personally, like digital art, it's a lot easier to like share and like reproduce and like, yeah, if with like physical stuff, you have to like scan it and you have to make sure it doesn't like degrade.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like there's an element of that in digital art where you have to make sure it's like safe and like you're not gonna like lose it. But yeah, I think there's definitely pros and cons to both.
Yeah. I'm definitely not like super ingrained in like the fine art realm, but is there kind of a big divide between like the digital artists and the traditional artists? Like, is there beef a little bit?
I think like in fine arts, it's like the like people don't even just stick to like paint. Like they do stuff like oh, it's like a room full of like little rocks, like or it's like oh, it's like a performance art. Like I think it's very like not constrained in that way.
Okay.
I think for like art school, definitely there's like a big emphasis on traditional art where they're like, oh, you have to like learn how to do stuff traditionally, and like digital art like it makes stuff look all the same. And I think that's just like I don't know, old people being resistant to change.
Yeah.
Like in some way, but yeah, I think they definitely both have their merits, which is why I'm like there shouldn't be like a bias like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What do you use when you're doing digital art? Are you like Photoshop, or what kind of programs do you use?
These days I use like Procreate on the iPad,
Okay.
and on the computer I use Storyboard Pro.
Nice.
And I used to use Photoshop a lot, like especially in college. So I'm definitely well versed in Photoshop, but because of the subscription thing with Adobe, I've like stopped using it.
Yeah, I feel like Adobe's kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now
Yeah.
because they're bumping up those subscription fees, and then they're trying to be all like AI, and also
Oh,
like
God.
they're like they're just outright like we're gonna steal your work and use it to train our AI. It seems like a bad business move, but I don't know.
It's quite ass. I mean, I think most like I don't know, like most artists in like the like digital art, like online type space, like really hate Adobe.
Yeah.
And I'm one of them. I know I'm an Adobe hater for sure. There's so many good alternatives out there, and it's like, why would I use Adobe? Like besides like I guess like oh, it's used a lot in like in industry type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think honestly the like for Photoshop, it's aimed more towards like architecture rather than like digital art for a lot of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should take some time to just dive into your art background a little bit.
Okay, nice.
Like, what first got you interested in art? Was there a specific like moment or inspiration that hit you?
It's hard to say. I think I was definitely knew that I would do art from a very young age. So whenever like my parents would take me to like whatever Chinese restaurant, and then they would be hanging out with their friends, and I would be like, I want to go home. Like I finished eating and I have nothing to do. Like especially
Relatable.
yeah, if there's no other kids there, then I'm just kind of like, what do I do? So I would usually bring some like printer paper and like pencils or like colored pencils or whatever, and I would draw. So that would be my thing, and I just did that a lot, and then I did it enough where like my parents and like other people would be like, wow, you're so good at drawing as like a little child, and I would be like, damn, so this is how I can get praised. Like,
True.
yeah,
Okay, they like kind of planted the seed in your head.
they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I was really into like fantasy books and stuff, so I would draw like dragons and stuff. That was my shit in first grade.
Oh, me too. I loved drawing dragons.
Dude.
I had a sketchbook where I did each of them in a different color.
Yes.
And I had like the green dragon was my favorite though.
Oh my god, so true. Yeah, I would have like different types of dragons. I'd have like like fire dragons, water dragons, that kind of shit. Yeah. I love that as a first grader.
Do you think looking back on it, you were just like naturally gifted?
I mean, it's hard to say about like being naturally talented and stuff. I think like honestly, I just like developed a fixation on like drawing things as a child, and like that made me like draw a lot, and that's like why I had more drawing skill at that age. But I don't know, maybe I could see like maybe like drawing talent is in how easily you can like spatially imagine things, at least for like the type of drawing that I like to do. But honestly, I think like the vast majority of that type of talent is just practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard people online, like big art creators. I do watch a lot of art creators on YouTube, but a lot of them say like anyone can draw, like literally anyone. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. And I feel like that's true because like me and my sister, we both drew a lot in our childhoods. I'm 5 years older than her. And I think I might have, not to like claim credit or anything, but I think I might have inspired her a little bit to start drawing because I was always drawing. And she like continued on that path way longer than I did. Like I drew and like I still draw from time to time, but I kind of moved on to other hobbies. But she like stuck with drawing and she's incredible now. Like the amount of skill and improvement she's had over the years is crazy. So like she's a way better artist than me now. And sometimes I wonder like, I wonder if I stuck it out, like would I be that good?
I think like even if you didn't draw though, then like you invested your time in other things like writing or like hanging out with people, which I think is really important, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like other skills. Like I think that I don't know. I think everything takes a lot of practice, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah. And I know people make like a big fuss about it online where they're like, oh, like, don't call me talented. Like this is all a result of my hard work. But I'm like, it's not that deep. Like,
yeah,
it's
just
okay.
accept the praise.
Yeah.
Accept the compliment.
Yeah, like Ratatouille. It's like anyone can cook.
Anyone can draw.
Yeah.
True. Even a rat.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, even this guy.
Even Petunia. Yeah, she's the best.
Yes.
Okay, so when did you know kind of this was something you wanted to take more seriously? Or like when did you kind of mentally commit to trying to make art a career?
Right. I think I always knew that art was like kind of like my thing. So then in high school when my parents were like, oh, like what do you want to do in college? I was like, I want to do art. And like thankfully they were okay with that. Yeah. And I think I just honestly continued drawing like the way that I was always drawing like throughout like school up until college. And then in college that's when like my mindset really changed for like, oh, like there's all these different kinds of art out there.
Yeah, it's good to have supportive parents.
Yeah.
I love that. Supporting the arts,
Yeah.
supporting creative fields.
Yeah.
I feel like it's scary though, because like creative fields are brutal.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you can be the most talented person in the world, but it takes so much like luck, so much networking to like make it a career and make it profitable. So like shout out to all the creatives and the supportive parents out there.
Yay. Yeah, I feel like it's a very like self-driven thing where you have to kind of advertise yourself and like your art, like the development of your art is like it's like your own ambition and like your own endurance. And it's difficult because like while on one hand you don't have to study for like exams and stuff, like it's like you have to prove yourself in other ways.
Yeah, you have to constantly be like putting your work out there. A lot of people, that's why they are on YouTube or Instagram. They're like trying to create a brand so that they can sell. It's all like, it's kind of the long con. Like you have to be engaged in so many different ways on so many platforms with so many people in order to kind of like make a name for yourself versus just having like a resume for, I guess, like a quote unquote normal job.
Yeah, and it's tough because like a lot of those skills aren't really ones that you develop as an artist where you're like, oh, like when I'm making art, like this is the expression of like something inside myself, but now I have to figure out how to market that to other people and like how to communicate to other people like the stuff that I feel or want to like communicate.
Yeah, it makes me wonder like if this system kind of promotes a certain kind of artist over others and like I guess what that says about art in general. Like in order to be successful as an artist, you also have to be outgoing and social and be a great marketer. And it's like, I feel like there's so much art that we're kind of ignoring or never gets visible to the public because they're not that kind of person.
Yeah, it's definitely, I definitely see that where like people who are more introverted, which is most artists, I think.
Yeah.
Like it's difficult to like post your stuff and like consider how other people will see it. If you have to like have like another job and stuff so that you can actually like live and like support yourself, like that's gonna take away your time to like develop your art and like promote yourself, like that kind of stuff. So I think like that does make it difficult for like people who like don't have like a lot of support.
What has your like personal journey been with publishing or promoting your own art? Is that something you enjoy? Is that something you're against?
I think for me personally, I really struggle with that kind of stuff where I'm like, when I'm drawing something and I'm making something, I don't want to consider how other people are going to see it. Like I want to just focus on like what how I'm going to make this like the best thing, like in my view and not in other people's view.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, that's definitely difficult where like I have to put stuff out there and then I have to like worry about like, oh, will this do numbers? Like, yeah, that kind of stuff. I think it's also can be an interesting thing though, where like in addition to making your own art, you're also designing your own image. You're kind of like that can be a form of creative expression, I think, about like how you want to portray yourself and like how you want your like page to look, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like an artist persona almost.
Yeah.
Do you think, are there people who have like multiple personas? I'm just thinking of this right now. Like, oh, like this is my like moody, like abstract art, but then I also have like this separate account where I do like cartoony things. Like, is that a common thing, do you think?
I think people having multiple accounts is pretty common for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know that they separate it based on art style. I think maybe like people would separate it based on like I know some people they have like one for like each fandom that they're in. Like if they want to make fan art, then they're like, oh, like I don't know that like my audience on this account would enjoy me spamming them with like my whatever like video game character fan art.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, another example I can think of is like when people drop and they're like, I don't want that on my main, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the not safe for work art is like a big thing.
Yeah.
And that's something people like pay for like pretty often, right? Like it's kind of a big moneymaker.
Yeah, I assume so. Like I think like people love paying for regular so like when you can draw and like people want to like see a specific thing, like you can get that money. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I remember back in the day I was working on an animated TV show and it came out that one of the animators had a separate private account where they made not safe for work art, and they were let go. And I'm like, I don't know, that seems kind of wrong. Like if it's a separate account and it's, I don't know, like should that be like a fireable offense? I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be the same thing if like you find out your coworker is like a star and you're an accountant. Like, is that a fireable offense? I don't know like what the moral implications of that are.
I mean, I don't know. I think this could be a very controversial issue, but I think it's okay. Like, I think it depends on like what they're drawing. Yeah. Like, I don't know, say that you're working on like, I don't know, like freaking Bluey or something. And then like they're making like messed up like Bluey. Then I would also be like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, actually, I think that was the case.
Wait, really?
Took the characters
of the characters that
they were on the show they were actually working on.
God
yeah.
damn.
And I do believe the characters were non-human, but I do believe canonically they were underage.
Oh my God, that's
so that is problematic. And in that case, like, yeah, that's probably like not appropriate. But in other cases, if you're making appropriate art, like, I don't know. It's so interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to say because like on one hand, like while I might be like, oh, that's like kind of weird that you're drawing that. Like, I don't know if they should be like fired for it or not. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I guess that's an HR problem. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe if people are like, people know that that person is someone who works on the show and then they're like, oh, like that affects the show's image or like the company's image, then maybe that's when HR would be like, hold up.
Yeah, that's when it really crosses a line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen fan art for shows that I've worked on that are just absurd. Not even in a sexual way, but just like the stories that these kids come up with. I assume they're kids. I don't know. But like I've seen the characters from shows like with bullets, shot through them and they're like dying on the floor. I've seen them like in wheelchairs with terminal illnesses. It's like, oh wow. People, yeah. Their imaginations have gone wild.
Yeah, I guess since you like worked on the show, then you're kind of like, it's a strange world that you're looking into where you're like, oh, these are just like these things that I work with like for my job.
Yeah.
But then like a child is like, but what if they were in a war? What if they were dying in the trenches?
Yeah. What if? I don't know how they came to that idea, but I don't know. I'm kind of glad they did.
Yeah,
that exists.
Go off.
It's
I guess.
weird, but it exists and it's out there and I've seen it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like maybe not for me, but I support your right to self-expression.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, building off of what we were just talking about, what are like the moral implications of fan art also?
The moral implications?
Yeah, because we talked about this in the fan fiction episode with Elise, where like it's kind of just an accepted thing that you can make fan fiction as long as you're not profiting off of it. But I feel like I see artists online making fan art of like existing characters, and then they go to like conventions and will sell it for profit. And like, are there any like rules and regulations about what you can and can't sell, I guess, or make art about?
Right. I think generally it's pretty like loose, where I think people just kind of make fan art of anything, and that's like enough like adaptation from like the original work where it's like, oh, this is like my own thing, and then they sell that. I'm sure that there's like stuff for like specific IPs where they're like, oh, like you can't do that and stuff. But I don't think that's very common. Like I can't think of any real examples.
Yeah, I was just curious, like if someone like designed an original character or like designed a character that's in a show or a movie, do they get upset when they see other people drawing that character? Or is it kind of seen as more of like an honor? Like, oh, I'm so excited that people love this character and they're drawing it and then selling it? Like,
you mean like if someone like worked on like whatever show and they were the character designer?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's usually people like when there's fan art of stuff. I guess I don't know. I think that's like the more common response probably, but
Yeah.
I feel like honestly character designers probably don't care, because like it's like their job to make those characters, and they're not like, it's not like they're like little meow meow where they're like super attached and they're like, this is my guy, like don't appropriate him kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people are probably chill with it, but I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm just like, you can't really like charge royalties off of other people's like fan art.
That is true. Yeah,
But also they created the character, so I feel like they have some ownership over it.
I guess if
Or-
it's like a this is my OC situation where like it's like a fan art of like another thing, and it's not like a published type thing, and this is just like my character, then maybe they could like feel annoyed if like the fan art is like kind of misrepresenting their character. Well, honestly, I think most of the time they're just like, holy fuck, like someone drew fan art of my guy. Like, that's amazing kind of thing.
Yeah, it must be exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to imagine that authors feel the same way when people write fan fiction about their books. But then for whatever reason, I guess it's different. Like,
I mean, I don't know.
fan fiction is policed so harshly, it seems, where like you're not allowed to sell the work if it's based on someone else's characters. But then when it's art based on existing characters, it seems to be a different ballpark.
Like, I wonder why like people feel that like art, I guess, is like more like removed from the original. Like if you're not like directly copying images, then like with fan fiction, I guess they're like, oh, like you guys both use words, like that's copying. Like, I don't know. It is strange.
Yeah. What is your experience with fan art? Are you in any specific communities creating art for the fans?
I think when I was in high school, that's when I would get like really intensely into things, and I would make fan art for them, like stuff like anime or like video games. But these days I feel like I'm not as like deeply interested in stuff like so intensely. So like occasionally I'll make fan art or I'll participate in like a fanzine type thing. But no, usually I'm just doing my own thing.
Okay, nice. What was like the big like games or books that you were drawing in high school?
God. This is gonna be so cringe.
Uh-oh.
I think in high school I was like super into Homestuck and like anime like Tokyo Ghoul, which is
Classic.
God. I mean back then it was very exciting to be like part of like fan communities and stuff. I think like it's just like cringe inducing to me now, because I'm like, oh, like I guess like looking at old art, I'm like, I don't know about. Yeah, but it was fun. I think definitely when, like, especially for Homestuck, when it was like in its peak, then the fan community was crazy. Like they were rabid. They were making so much stuff because it updated every day. So then there was always new stuff to look at every single day.
Snap.
Yeah.
Where were you posting?
Oh, I think in high school I used Tumblr and sometimes Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was one, oh my God, what was that website called? Deviant Art.
Yes.
Were you
oh my
on
God.
there?
I was when I was like in middle school and stuff.
Okay.
Then it kind of had a decline. I don't know. I think their like commission thing that was like built into the site was kind of like weird, and it was like they took a big cut of it, I think, but
Oh.
I don't know. I was like very young when I used it, so honestly I didn't interact with those things. I just kind of posted whatever.
And then how was it transitioning from like being like a fan art aficionado and then going to art school?
Oh my God. The difference is pretty huge.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, I think like at least the art school I went to, it was very fine arts focused, and especially in freshman year when it's kind of like you're learning all different sorts of stuff. It's not really focused on only drawing. It's also focused on stuff like painting and like learning about like concepts, like exploring what fine art is and like different examples and like art history and like all these different dimensions of art, where like the stuff that I did in high school, which is more just like fan art illustration type stuff, like there's almost no focus on that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you feel like kind of a noob in that space a little bit? Like, was it something you really had to warm up to?
I think for like drawing specific classes, like that's where I would excel because that's where my background was. I think stuff like painting I didn't super do, so then I was definitely a noob in like oil painting and that kind of stuff. But honestly, like being a noob in that kind of way where it's just like my technical skill it's kind of fun to be like not good at something and then you're like, oh, like I can make whatever, and there's not that much like expectation that I put on myself.
Yeah.
I think definitely the areas where I struggled was like, oh, like the fine arts, like making sculptures and stuff, and like very conceptual stuff where it's like, oh, like this is less about the like technique and more about the ideas, like the concepts.
Yeah, the
And-
big brain energy.
Yeah, the big brain stuff. And it's like when it's like 2 a.m. and you're like so tired, like you're not going to be thinking of big brain stuff.
No.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of stuff, like, I feel like it needs to almost be like divine intervention almost, or maybe that's not the right term, but like it, like that idea has to like hit you. I feel like it's not something you can force, where it's like, okay, your assignment this week is come up with like some big brain, like conceptual fine art piece. It's like, oh my God, I feel like you need to like marinate or have like some sort of experience that inspires that.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
I don't know, like, did you struggle with that?
Yeah, I think like a lot of like trying to like create meaning in artwork, it's like drawing on your own experience, but like my experience is so limited. So then I feel like I would use various things, like, oh, like I had a background in like fencing or something, so I would make a piece about that. But then stuff that like, I don't know, like stuff about like very like, I don't know, serious or interesting parts of life, sometimes like I would be like, oh, I don't really have an entry into this. So then I don't know, I think I would be like it's kind of like cliche to like plumb the depths of your soul, but I'd be like, damn, I reached the bottom, there's not that much soul left.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know, it's okay. I think I don't really have the mindset to be a fine artist, to be honest. Like I think a lot of enjoyment I get from art is like from drawing, and yeah, but I respect fine artists.
Me too. Good for them.
Yeah.
I think that's something interesting about art school in general, though, compared to other like schools and majors, is that like you need to be pulling out like ideas daily, because you have so many projects, so many assignments, and you're there for 4 years. You have to be this kind of like endless well of inspiration, compared to like if you're a math major, like you just have to, I mean, not that you just have to, but like you put in the work, but it's not like inspired, I guess, or like necessarily creative. So like, is that something, did you ever get like artist block at school or even now?
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure, because like you have to keep making stuff even if you can't think of anything and you can't like you don't have any inspiration. Like that doesn't really work out, because like you gotta do it, you gotta turn something in.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're like really exhausted from assignments, then you kind of just have to like throw whatever shit you have like at the canvas, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think it is difficult because like you like say that you have like a different major, like in math or like in biology or something, like you have to like finish your assignment and like do your labs and stuff. But for art assignments, there isn't really a way to finish it. Like it just ends when you think that it's done.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. There's no
Yeah.
correct answer either to anything in art.
Yeah. So it's honestly difficult because sometimes like every single teacher is going to grade assignments differently and give you a different critique on your assignment. So like if you don't mesh well with a teacher, like that's pretty bad, because then you like, what are you going to do? Because you don't want to make stuff that's like just appealing to the teacher. You want to like make stuff that's for you, but then like, are they going to be able to critique your stuff like to the extent that you get something from it, or are they just going to be like, it's not right?
Yeah. Did you find that you were like, you met your teacher and you're like psychoanalyzing them to try to figure out like what are they going to like and kind of appealing to them? Or did you mostly stick to your guns and you're just like, I'm going to do what I do best?
I mean, I wish I stuck to my guns, honestly. Like I don't have that much like self-motivation, where I think like a lot of the art I made in art school was kind of like keeping the class in mind, like keeping the teacher's expectations in mind. And I think that's like not a great approach, I think.
Yeah.
So then like yeah, I would definitely be like, oh, like what are they going to think of this sort of mindset?
Yeah, it's like in the back of your mind the whole time you're creating it.
Yeah, like, oh, like they like didn't respond to this, or like this is the critique they gave me last time, like I'm going to build on that, which like it's a good thing to do that. But sometimes when like the teacher's goals or like expectations are very different from what you actually want to do, it's like it's hard. Yeah.
I also find that like when I'm writing for myself or like a passion project, it's exciting because I can explore like the voice and the concepts that I want. But if I'm trying to like build a portfolio piece or like write for a specific, I guess like publication, you really do have to change so much about like what you instinctually want to do. I love just like darkness and like inappropriate humor. But then if I'm writing like a children's comic, I have to be like, oh, I can't say that. Can't say that. Or if I'm like building a portfolio piece that's supposed to be more serious, it's just like, oh, this is not the audience that like, it's not, I'm not writing it for me. I'm writing it for like this imaginary, like general populace and trying to appeal to them. The sacrifice you have to make to be a creative in some ways.
Yeah. Did you ever get feedback where they were like, this is not the tone we want to use, like this is not appropriate, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Like I write comics and I pitched a couple that I was really excited about. And one of them was like, the comic series is not about superheroes, but I wanted to do a story about a superhero. And they were like, this does not fit the tone or the theme of the series. No. And I was like, like it does. Like if you really think about it, it was like, I framed it as like a dream sequence. I don't know. I like tried to make it work, but so that was kind of sad.
They didn't see the vision.
Yeah. They just completely shut down the pitch. And I was like, okay, I'll just pitch another normal happy family story that I usually do.
Sad.
Yeah. Let's bring this to today. So you went through your illustration phase, your fan art phase, your exploratory phase in college, and now you seem pretty solidly in the storyboard phase.
Yes.
How did you decide storyboarding was for you?
I think I was always really into like story-driven type stuff. So like comics and animation, I think that was really like interesting to me like throughout my life. And then when it came time in like senior year of college where they're like, oh, like you have to, like we had this class called senior portfolio where you kind of pick a teacher and then they kind of like guide you while you're kind of doing your own thing. And then in that questionnaire, they're kind of like, oh, like what sort of like job stuff do you want to do? And I was like, oh God, I need to decide. So then I was like, oh, like comics or storyboarding. And then when I thought about it more, I was like, like the thing that I've heard from a lot of comic artists is that comics doesn't really make that much money. So then I was like, oh, with animation, like you can work more collaboratively and you have like this industry where it's possible to be in a union. And it's, yeah, I think I made that choice. And then, not that I'm making a lot of money from animation, but yeah, I think I still really like comics a lot. But yeah, then I decided to do storyboarding to be in the animation industry.
What was the biggest difference between comics and storyboards? Because I can see similarities for sure. But yeah, I think storyboard feels way more intense to me. I don't know if that's an accurate perception.
I guess it depends, but yeah, I think I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't have experience in. Like, so for storyboarding, it's for like film. So then a lot of it is like, oh, this is how the camera is going to look at the scene, and you have to worry about like, oh, like your shot choices. So I didn't have any experience with that. So then, like, when you're a beginner, like, all your shots are like medium, where the character is just kind of like in the center of the frame, like kind of like their torso up. And yeah, so then like I had to become a lot more conscious of that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're an artist, but you're also like a photographer at the same time. You're like a director, a cinematographer. Sometimes they have you like write your own dialogue or jokes as a storyboard artist. Like, you have to include so many different disciplines at once. It's like a lot of work.
Yeah, I think that's like a hot topic in the industry right now, where people are like, oh, storyboard artists, like they're getting too many things, where like, oh, you even have to like edit together your animatics and like provide like voice acting, that kind of thing.
What?
Like for some, I don't know, some jobs they're like, oh, you have to like do scratch, and people are like, that's not my job, stop making me do more things.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's quite wild.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a divide, and that's why I guess unions are important.
Yes,
I guess they can fight on our behalf.
Yay.
Because yeah, these studios, they love having you double dip, do as much work as they can, eliminate as many positions as they can. So if a storyboard artist can like create a whole animatic, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, for sure. And like for like freelancers who don't really have like union benefits, like you really need to like fight for yourself and like have like a contract and like have like firm boundaries, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think another thing that's really interesting about storyboard art in general, and maybe this applies to like other fields as well, but you have to like really adapt your art style to match the project you're working on. So I feel like you're constantly like changing your art. You have to adapt not only like the appearance of the characters and the backgrounds, but also like maybe different shows have different like ways they move the camera. Maybe there's like a ton of crazy camera moves in this one, but another show might be like a lot of static still framing, and you have to like adapt and learn on the fly. Like, how has that been for you?
I feel like, yeah, I definitely need to like consider what kind of tone they want, because I've been on like very different projects where like the expectations are pretty different. Like for example, I did one where it was like a commercial for it was like for a pharmaceutical company.
Okay.
And then they have a lot of emphasis on like, we need to make sure that this is easy to understand and that this is like not scary to people.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's like they are very like concerned about that sort of thing, like their image, and like and it was kind of funny because like the other people that I was working with that was like contracted with the pharmaceutical company, like I would see like a little hint of their frustrations. But like because they were kind of like the like middleman, and I would just be like drawing my thing, and then they'd be like, we have more notes, like, and like they would try to help me understand the notes, because there's definitely like a big divide between like I guess like my perspective as an artist and like the company's perspective as like their product marketing, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And then the translation must be hard too, because they probably aren't well versed in like artistic terms. They probably might not know like specific camera angles or like perspective terms and stuff like that. So when they ask for a change, it might feel like kind of a weird note maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think like definitely sometimes like some people don't super know what they want. They're just like, oh, this is like not the right feeling, like just like the vibe, it's not right. Like I want this to be more like this. But then like that might like cause problems where like, oh, like that messes up the like direction that the characters are facing, or like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
like continuity and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, the continuity. But I mean, that's just part of the job, I think. It's just like communicating and trying to like make things easier.
Yeah, you're like a translator kind of.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself like continuing with storyboard like forever, or are there other like artistic fields you think you'd want to explore in the future?
I mean, I think I really like reading comics, so I think that would be fun to do. I think it would be good if I could ever like have that kind of free time, because it's very like time consuming, especially if you're doing it for free.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fun to make a webcomic someday.
Yeah, I think that's like a really hard part about being an artist, is balancing like passion and money and portfolio building and all of those things, trying to fit them all in a 24-hour day and also have a social life and exercise and live. It's crazy, like the amount of work we have to do.
It's insane. Yeah.
Especially because to get jobs, a lot of times you have to have like your own personal projects on the side, a portfolio that you're building. And then, of course, everyone has like their dream projects that they hope will one day like become a movie or a TV show that they're like secretly working on. So it's a lot to juggle.
It is, for sure.
Respect the hustle.
Oh, God.
The artist hustle. It's real.
Yes. Save us.
Please help us. It's time for everyone's favorite part of the podcast, the Hoot and Holler.
Wee.
Yay.
Yay.
For those who don't know and are new to the podcast, the Hoot is something that you love and you want to share with the whole world and shine a spotlight for everyone to see. And the Holler is something that you despise. You despise it from the pits of your soul and you want it to die. Okay, let's start with our Hoot.
All right. So my Hoot this week is going to be Costco's 150 hot dogs.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if they're like actually really popular, so maybe I'm just repeating what everyone knows. But these hot dogs, they're long and they're only 150 because the Costco CEO was like, I am not changing these prices.
Yeah.
So as long as he lives, hope he lives a little longer, then they're gonna be 150, and it comes with a drink, and you can put like ketchup and mustard and relish, and it's quite good. And after like being stuck in the Costco hell of like getting bumped by carts and stuff, it's really nice if you got hungry or hangry.
There's nothing better, than that little treat at the end of your trip. Oh my God, it's so good. The bun is probably like 10 inches long, and then the hot dog extends like 2 inches on either side beyond the bun. It's long.
Yeah,
it's like, a long dog.
It sticks out, and they don't care. It's fine. Honestly, it's better than the reverse where you have too much bread.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah, the ratio is perfect. You get the toppings bar, which is perfect.
Yes.
And yeah, the soda too, with infinite refills.
Yes.
I think like the strategy might be getting the hot dog before the trip. Then you're satisfied and you're like walking around Costco with like your happy little tummy, and then you have the soda. You can sip it during your shopping trip and then get your refill before you leave.
Oh, so true. Yeah.
That's what I want to do, but I never do that. I always take it to go at the end.
Yeah, me too. I think like it's dangerous to shop when you're hungry, because then you'll just buy all kinds of things.
The things I end up with when I'm hungry, it's like, why did I buy this?
Yeah.
I don't even like this food. I don't eat cereal. Why do I have like 3 boxes of cereal in my cart?
Yeah, and each of them is like a brick. Like, it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Always shop when you're satisfied.
Yes.
Never shop hungry. And get that Costco hot dog.
Yes.
My Hoot this week is using animated characters as fitness inspiration. I do this pretty often, maybe like every month or so. I change like who I'm inspired by, but I love like the insane cartoon proportions of characters. And I'm like, okay, I need to look like that. I need to look like that. So like my current one is The Incredibles. I'm like, okay, I want to be like somewhere between Mr. Incredible and Mrs. Incredible. They're just body goals.
Are you trying to get more like flexible?
Trying to get flexible, but like, wow, like the hip ratio on Mrs. Incredible is off the charts. The hourglass figure.
You're so right.
But then like Mr. Incredible is just like a triangle. And that's cool too. So I kind of want to like I want to strike a balance between them. But have you ever been inspired by, animated characters and their bodies?
I feel like you're onto something with like one has like the Dorito body and the other one has like the like biggest hips.
Yeah. Like if you combined them, I'm like, okay. Individually, I'm like, I can't, like it's impossible to achieve. But together, there's like a vision there.
Yeah. Okay. You're kind of onto something. Yeah. Yeah. Like maybe like I need to do more back workout so I can get that like triangle back.
Yeah. The Dorito chip shape is kind of like, it's kind of the goal these days.
Yes.
I find that's interesting that usually like very fit characters in animation, they are like very triangle shaped and they have the stubbiest legs.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel like that's the vibe always.
Yeah, I guess like the character designers are just like, we need that contrast.
Yeah.
Where they like skip leg day and stuff.
Do you remember the movie Onward?
Yes.
The mom from Onward also has that like pair, like big hips. Like it's such like a Disney classic.
Oh, you're so right.
But the dad was only legs for most of the movie. But I don't think he was a Dorito. I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe the Dorito, it was just not visible though, because like it just didn't show it.
Yeah. So the pairing was there. We just didn't know.
Yeah. That is so funny. Like that's the takeaway from Onward is like animation mom hips.
Yeah, I mean that was my key takeaway. I was like, whoa, body goals right there.
Damn,
she's killing
crazy.
it.
Yeah, actually that's such a thing with like animated moms. Why did they do this?
They got that BBL body before it was cool. Mrs. Incredible was ahead of her time.
Yeah, she did it first.
And the Kardashians were just copycats.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, let's move on to the Holler.
Oh God. Okay. My Holler this week is the Landlord special. Do you know what that is?
Oh, I'm very familiar. And I'm with you.
Yeah. So basically when people move out of their apartments, sometimes the landlords will do this thing that's been colloquially termed the Landlord special, which is when they paint over everything with like white paint. And that's like everything, like light switches and like buttons and like cupboard doors and cupboard like little knob things, everything. So then after years and years of people moving out, there's going to be a thick white layer of like paint, and it's like so bad in some areas because it's like you're not cleaning it and you're not getting rid of things. You're just painting over it. And like I remember when I moved into my current apartment, there was like such a thick layer of paint on the buttons for the stove, like where you turn on the stove light. Like it was impossible to actually press the button because it was so painted over.
Did you have to like carve it out, or you just never use it?
I think we were like, oh no, it's broken. So then we like asked the landlord about it, and then she sent like a maintenance guy, and the guy was like, literally there's just too much paint, so he just chipped off the paint. And we were like, so that was the problem?
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah. And I think for me it's just emblematic of like negligent landlords, like lazy practices.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen people who like can't open their windows because like the like ledges have been painted over. It just seals the window to like the windowsill.
Oh my God.
At my apartment, I have like, it's less so the painting over things, but more so just poor painting practices. Like I feel like you either need to use a primer or like sand your surfaces before you paint. But my landlord just slaps it onto like doors and cabinets and stuff, to the point that I had like command hooks on the wall, and it just peeled off like layers of paint. It wasn't like I don't know. That shouldn't happen. I feel like the paint should be adhered to the wall.
Yeah.
But it's just so like slapped on that putting any weight on anything on the wall just peels the paint right off.
Yeah.
So hopefully I won't get charged for that.
Yeah, it's like it's just the craftsmanship is so sloppy.
It's not good.
Yeah.
And they also paint everything white or gray. And I want to see more creativity. Like if you're going to give it the landlord special and you're slapping on a coat of paint every time, choose like a fun color.
Yeah.
Paint something green.
They're scared.
Yeah, they're scared of color.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't even have to do like a really wild one. Like you just do like sage green. Like everyone loves sage green.
It's a very calming color. It's a nice presence. That's why I was kind of excited about this apartment though. Like the walls at least have like a yellowy creamish color, and the floors are brown. So I was excited about that versus like most apartments you see now are like gray walls and like the fake gray
Oh my God,
laminate wood floor.
Yeah.
And that I can't stand.
Oh my God, yeah, it looks so cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like your floors. They're like a very like rich, deep color.
Yeah.
And that gray flooring, that's not it.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you on this, Holler. And I agree. Landlords, let's maybe use some paint stripper every 4 to 5 years and get a fresh start.
Yeah. Put in a little effort.
Yeah, it'd be nice. My Holler this week is when people say they want to be doctors because they want to help people.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's sincere personally. Like a lot of like medical like or like pre-med students were just like the craziest people I knew, and they're very intense and competitive, but then they're like, it's my dream to be a doctor because I want to help people. And it didn't feel.
You're like, stay away from people. You're like,
yeah. Like,
okay.
I wouldn't want you to care for me. I feel like you don't have a caring bone in your body. You care about yourself a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't want to generalize that about all doctors, but it was just a lot of people I met in college who said that. And I was like, I think you can be honest and say like, it's a high paying field that carries a lot of respect and a lot of prestige associated with being a doctor. And I don't think that's a bad thing to chase either. Like, I feel like most people in their careers are chasing money and prestige. That's kind of the whole point of being an employed person. So then just say that. Like, I don't think you have to mask it and say like you want to help people.
Right. Like, just be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've heard like about other fields that like sometimes the people who are like, oh, like I was born to do this, like this is my calling, like they have like way too much like ego about it and they're kind of difficult to work with. But that's just my secondhand experience.
Yeah, people who are like, I was born to be a doctor. It's what I was always meant to do. And they knew since they were like 5 years old. Those are the scariest ones you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you really want to help someone, there's so many other ways you could do it. Like if you were that passionate about helping people, you could become a speech therapist. Or you could teach in like a special needs classroom or do customer service. Like there's lots of ways. You don't have to go through like 10 years of medical school to help people. You could do it right now from your own backyard.
That is very true. Yeah. There's many things you could be doing.
I think it's just like the moral superiority of like you're studying accounting, but I'm studying medicine because I want to help people. I don't know. That answer just rubbed me the wrong way so much.
The pressures of being a pre-med student brings out the crazy in some people.
You have to be a little bit crazy to be a doctor, I think. You really do. And it's like, I don't know. Are those the best people to, be taking care of you, to have like bedside manner and that kind of stuff?
That is true, yeah.
But regardless, just be honest.
Yeah.
Just be honest about why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Just be like, I'm doing it for the money. So
Yeah.
true. Like, go off.
Yeah. Because I also think there's a difference between like helping, like saying you want to help people and like being like a brain surgeon. You know what I mean? Like, I guess like, yeah, you are helping people, but it doesn't feel, that just feels so different in my head. Like, I want to help people, so I want to cut open an unconscious person's brain and like dig around it. Like, that doesn't translate to me.
Right. I guess,
as like the primary motive, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it's like, that's like such a specialized skill where it's like, that is like the highest paying like way to help people, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like someone needs to do the brain surgery for sure. But it's like, I think the stereotype for surgeons is that they're kind of assholes.
Really?
I don't know. That's what I've heard. I don't know any surgeons.
I think my grandpa was a surgeon.
What kind of surgeon?
He did like bone doctor type stuff.
But did he do it to help people?
I don't know. I can't ask him now. He passed away. But I'm sure he had the best intentions.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to ask my grandma. What did he say? What was his motivation? Did he want to help people, or did he want a long-lasting, highly profitable career that also happens to help people? I don't know. But I think that's all we have for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining, Natalie.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
It was so fun having you here and talking about art. I feel like there's even more that we can dive into. So if you want to come back for round 2,
Yeah, maybe so.
we can dive deeper into some of these controversial art topics. Oh, I just realized I really wanted to ask you about Mark Crilly. Do you know Mark Crilly?
No, I actually don't know who that is.
Never mind.
I'll do my research before the next session.
He was like a YouTube artist. He had like a manga series, but he was like my biggest inspiration as a child. But he did like how-to like tutorials on how to draw art and stuff. And I did all his tutorials. So I had just notebooks filled with anime eyes and
that's
like
awesome.
all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't sure if you also were a fan back in the day.
I don't know him specifically, but
okay.
I did read those like how to draw manga books.
Of course. We all had to.
Yeah,
at some
required
point.
reading.
Mm-hmm. It's been a pleasure, but right now I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
We gotta go.
We are on the move.
Bye.
Bye.